looks like it's scheduled. Did you schedule it?
No.
No, it says it's upcoming.
Should be working now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna try to do is was trying to hook up the HDMI cord to the TV to allow you guys to actually see it. So what I'll do is I'll bring the camera, or we'll bring the camera around and show you guys the final product. So again, yesterday I was working on, so we have this complicated system going on with different levels, and every level not only gives you access to different things, but you know, your profile picture, your profile page, everything looks different according to the level. You know, so it's really cool, and it encourages people to level up. You know, because the whole idea for this app is bragging, right? So whoever has bragging rights, and the people that have bragging rights has to level up. You know, so. Yesterday I put an icon of a thumbs down for level 1 and thumbs up for level 2. It's all animated. I got the animated, what you call it, online indicator. The back end is already hooked up, already done that. And so I integrated yesterday. But and then according to the levels, it will show different things. Like for instance, the higher levels will show like a crown, and then a little bit lower sparkles, and then like I think level 3 is like a star. And then each profile picture glows underneath at a different color based on the user's level. So it's gonna be a little bit tough. So to keep on recreating that, because again, just as a recap, the way we're dealing with the images is a little bit different, and it's an appropriate way to deal with large masses of assets. You know, when I say assets, I mean digital assets, and that is to compress it, because images and videos, they take up a lot of space. So the idea is to compress it. So we got APIs that's compressing the video and turn it into 3 videos. You know, the compressed version of the video, a 3-second clip as a preview, and then the thumbnail. But as far as images, we're managing the images the same way. It's being compressed, and then it's being distributed, so people are seeing it as a cached asset on the CDN. And the CDN, Content Delivery Network, those of you who are developers or engineers understand what I'm talking about, but it's basically a system where you could cache in, when I say cache, I mean like metadata, the last version of the app, right? And because this is dynamic, the data is always changing, we just want to do that with the images. So people are gonna have, it's basically packaging up the images and it's distributing it. It's also, it's good for security, because people, the public, don't have direct access to the URL where the actual images are coming from, where we're storing it. So we kind of need that as a buffer. And to do that, it's a little bit complicated in how we're hooking it up. But to avoid like reproducing that all through the app, and it's already like, we've already put it in just about every place, you know, I've already put it in every place. But instead of reproducing it, I figured it was better to create a global component. So this whole idea when it comes to React, and this is, the web app is built on Next.js, which is a framework on top of React.js, which React.js was created by Facebook, by the way. to improve the performance and to deal with certain issues and syncing up data. So with this technology, the whole idea is to use reusable components as much as you can. So anything that's going to be in multiple places throughout the app should be just one component. And when I say component, just an encapsulation of code, it could be, it's typically a function. And then there's like many different functions within that function. There's JSX, which is a version of HTML, but it's actually JavaScript. It's actually the scripting language is a version of HTML, but it's not the same. HTML is dealing directly with it, is heavy, and what we do is we do everything under the hood. So anything that changes on screen is being done, it's only changing the necessary changes instead of the entire page or the entire view. So yesterday, I created the global profile picture, and then so there was an issue with showing the card, and not a real issue, but in order to show the card properly, it's either two things you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to either put it in the parent component of all of the children components that it sits in, or you're gonna have to put it in like the layout component. So it has a global state, and it's it appears as the highest index. So meaning that nothing cuts off, no containers cut off the card. So decided to do that, and everything is working properly. And then I added the dark mode and light mode logics to it. So now if you're on light mode, it'll be more for white gradient color, and if you're on dark mode, it'll be the standard gradient dark that we have for all the other pop-ups and models. And it's fetching the user's data. So I'm gonna show you real quick. See it right? Alright, so now.
Oh, that's fire. The little profile card, and it shows the level.
Right.
Yeah, that's fire.
So let me show the audience real quick. You wanna grab one?
Yeah, sure. Trying not to show the kid.
Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah. So this is the home page. As you can see, we already have a great number of users who's already using the app. They're winning money on challenges. Now here, the profile picture, as you can see, there's a crown for my level and an animated avatar. So here I want to show you the drop down, the chat drop down. So we got some nice animation going, and everything is animated. This is for sure the best UI that you guys have ever seen in terms of every other app that's out there. So now the way I have it is either the user scrolls for 2 seconds and it pops up, right, like that. And then when they remove the cursor, it goes back down. Or they could click and it pops up. So this here, I have to actually fix this because this is the default banner if the user doesn't have a banner, but I know you have a banner, so I gotta see what's wrong with that. It's fetching and we're displaying your user picture correctly, but not the banner. And here it has your wins. I have to check, friends may not be working. So what we're doing is we're fetching the user's data directly inside of the profile picture. So that way it'll all have the same data. And we won't have to worry about, passing extra props and so forth. So if you click view, then that'll go to the user's profile, all of that's working. And then our challenge here is what I'm working on now is, so we already have the video challenges where a person challenges another user, and then you have a certain period of time to get 2 other challengers or participants, or the video challenge goes into archive. But now you could challenge a user directly. So say I wanted to challenge this user, right? You could just challenge him right here. And then we have add a personal message and send a request. Okay, so we're getting failed to send our challenge request, and I'm going to look into correcting that. But just wanted to show you guys what we're working on. So, and then Noah's working on video gen and VO3 to come up with the animated promo for Bragtime. So we have different promos, different versions of promos, and we want to keep it up with animated. We want to create a whole series of animated, particularly off of the main characters, so like the monkeys with the crowns, the male and female monkeys. So he's working on that. You want to tell him a little bit more about?
Yeah, so the process of what I need to do, I just need to create a proper prompt for VO3, because even as you know what I'm saying, people hype up VO3 so much, it's still not as great as it's said to be. So I have to create a proper prompt, and then I also have to go to video gen and create another prompt and find the correct AI voice, AI face, and all that. I also have to come up with a new title for a new theme of video, because we're doing like different themes for the different projects, trying to switch it up. So yeah, so when I go on video gen, I have to select the right AI voice, and then type it out. And I actually have to like put in certain like commas and you know what I'm saying, hyphens and whatnot to correctly get the voice to sound how I want it to. So yeah, it takes a bit of time doing that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go on VO3.
So what's the plan? You're gonna try to get it to do the characters?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it as clear as possible. I have to like sort of like tell it everything. You know what I'm saying? Try to give it as much details as possible.
Right.
Be as concise as possible.
Right. Okay.
Because, yeah.
I've noticed too that okay, so VO3, even with the paid version, I mean, I don't think they have anything other than the paid version, but they only allow like what 3-second, 5-second videos.
Yeah, it's up to like 8 seconds.
8 seconds. Okay. So like slightly longer than what a GIF would be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like GIF friendly where it could be converted. But the idea is to actually create the video. So what we might have to do is string some videos together so that provides a problem, is that there's no consistency with the AI. You know, it's not retaining any memory. So if it was retaining memory, then we could just say, okay, continue where you left off. Now we want such and such and such. But since it doesn't, and in this version, they do have a higher version of video gen. We just chose at the moment not to use it, but we may have to upgrade. But with this version, you can't actually upload your own images.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to work with basically describing what we want.
Yeah, it says VO3 doesn't have that feature yet, where you can upload images into it.
Oh, so it doesn't have that feature.
It doesn't. It's not even that advanced yet.
I'm wondering if Adobe's Anime has that feature.
Adobe Anime?
Yeah, because doesn't VideoGen have that where it could take real pictures and animate that, like a picture of yourself, and it could animate, show you talking or something like that?
Yeah, VideoGen can do that. Yeah.
Okay, but it can't like take other art styles and animate it, right?
No, it has one set art style.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so it's kind of limited.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. Like, it's all a bunch of hype. A lot of the videos from AI, a lot of these companies, VideoGen, VO3, it's all hype, you know, in terms of what you could do. So what people has been showing is probably either a combination of making up shit, or they're actually being paid by the company to promote, and so they're given access to a little bit more tools, or they may have created it themselves and sent it to them. You know, there's that, but yeah, just FYI, the AI video software hasn't gotten to the point yet where you could actually upload your own images and it would animate it. Let alone like take your image and recreate it in another art form if you wanted.
So it's all through prompts.
Yeah.
And if you really wanted to get it to do what you want it to do, you have to be skilled with it.
Yeah.
Because it'll just do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Based off assumptions.
Yeah. So maybe that's something to look up. We can maybe find a tutorial on what's the correct way to prompt VO3, or you know what I'm saying, so we get like some idea what's the best way. So this is how we're spending our summer, building the next greatest app for you guys. What are you doing great this summer? That's the question. Leave a comment. Those of you watching, again, put something in the chat. and not offensively, just like, what are you doing? How are you pursuing either your dreams or interest, or knowing about the time that we're living in? Although AI hasn't gotten to the point where it's useful outside of being a tool, that a very delicate and skill using tool, you have to have the skills to use it correctly. And it's kind of a bit of a slow process as well, like step by step, And what I've found, my experience is, like, at the beginning of the day, I'm doing like awesome prompts, and it's like doing what I want. Probably because, like, and I'm using the paid version, so it's probably has me on a fast server at the beginning of the day. But then as the day increases, and just from it just having only a 20% at best success rate, so that means just like reprompt it. I feed it into another AI to get like the best prompt, the best detailed list of what I'm trying to do, and still like on and on and on, it's making crazy mistakes. It's changing all kind of things. It's not working correctly. It's I guess you could say hallucinating, but that's not really the right word. You have to understand that it's just a compilation of a whole bunch of data that it's seen, and if what she wanted to do is outside of that boundary of things that it normally does, it's gonna have a hard time, calibrating and piecing it together. So by the end of the day, I'm just like, yo, do this, da 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 da, and it's like, fuck you. You tired, I'm tired. So I'm just gonna really piss you off now. Until I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Da 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 da. Da, don't you understand? Stop sabotaging my shit. Da da. And yeah, that doesn't work either. No, I think they just put me on a slower server. Like, okay, we got something for people like you.
See, we was actually doing something, you know what I'm saying, doing something productive, and I was like, nah.
Oh yeah. So tell us what your professions are, what you think of AI, what you think of what we're doing. Again, we're creating a 100% decentralized platform. We are the unicorns that they talk about. We're bootstrapping it all. I've personally put in $500,000 in a couple developers that have helped along the way, but those were many different versions ago, because we've made a lot of mistakes in terms of tech stacks and not having a design. So at first we was trying to use templates, and that was crazy. No template in the world is complete or even close to having anything that is really relative. So we end up having a designer, and the design is pretty good, but we're in a time where it's very competitive. So my estimation was his designs wasn't top level. We're trying to give you guys the best of the best. So I end up having to design it myself, as well as develop it from scratch, and like full stack, back end, front end, all of that. Again, I've spent many years as a senior dev, so I know what I'm doing. I'm good at coding. That doesn't make it easy, because these are all still new technologies. And then we chose to use like the newest versions of those technologies too. So, it's not clear, there's no real instructions on how to go about doing certain things. We have issues between client side and server side. That was an issue, but like the initial, because on the start of the app, you have to be able to authenticate the user, right? And if the user's already logged in, log them in automatically. If they're not already logged in, then present the sign in or the sign up, and that's all they should have access to. So first of all, in order to toggle that kind of logic like that, all of that is states, and that's client side, right? That's not the server side. Server is just direct data. When you conditionally rendering or conditionally displaying anything, now you're talking about the client side, as well as the authentication method that you're using, right? You're making an API call, and it's coming back, verifying that the user is real, and the username and password is correct, and then it issues out a JWT token for the user. And so that within that, all of that is also client side. And we're dealing with a technology that's server side first. So it was like a whole bunch of difficulty of how to get around that. We end up having to wrap it with a few different providers in order to do that because of the strict rules. So it's coming along really well. I'm proud of the steps that we've taken. We've both been working very long hours to bring you guys like the best quality.
And consistently too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not taking any days off. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in, you know what I'm saying, days off.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? If we appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying, for sticking with us through this journey for real. You know what I'm saying? Especially anybody who's an early supporter. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And make sure you do sign up quick to get your early supporter badge on Bragtime, because we do have some early supporter badges, some cool badges. You know what I'm saying?
Animated badges, really cool stuff. You'll have, if you guys sign up now, you'll have access to, you'll be ahead of the game. You'll have access to, just for signing up or supporting, you'll have access to what no one else is gonna have. So granted, within this app, we already have, I don't want to disclose the amount, but we have BRG or Bragg tokens on the market already. Bragg tokens is on the market, and it's on the blockchain on both the Ethereum and the Polygon networks. We also have NFTs, custom and animated GIF NFTs. That's really nice. We're gonna show you guys, give you guys a glimpse. But of course, if you sign up, you'll see all of that. So we have rare items. We also have custom emojis already for the app, and we're in the process of creating more, having more created. So you guys, if you sign up now, you're gonna have access to things that people are not gonna have access to. You know? Now, I don't know, like, probably most of the people watching this not gonna know or remember this, but the reason why Facebook became as popular as it was. So essentially, the reason why the world is the way it is right now, because social media has changed the game, has changed the world. The reason why it is because of one game, and that game is called Mafia War. that Facebook had, and it encouraged people to get a whole bunch of members to support your character in this like kind of online game where you get to do a bunch of stuff. It's not really like the typical game, but it's I forgot those type of games what they're called. But like you got to refill on this and refill on that, and like buy property, and then you got to keep on refilling.
Like a tycoon.
Is
like a tycoon game.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that, where you have to like keep refilling, and then you have to go do this.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to buy an upgrade for that.
Right. So think of that. So during that time, right? So first of all, they would give you a chance to win or to get these rare items, and these rare items depending on the season. So like for instance, if it's Halloween, it may be something like pumpkin or something like that, a certain carved pumpkin, rare looking, or maybe if it's whatever different holiday, but also movies. Whatever movies was coming out during the time, they'll have like kind of like how McDonald's or Burger King does with the toys and shit.
Yeah.
So it had all of that, right? So it kind of kept it exciting in that manner because you could acquire rare pieces. And by the way, I don't think these things did anything. Like we're giving you digital assets that's actually worth money. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, it wasn't like that, and these things wasn't worth anything. But yeah, that was the reason why they was huge. But we're gonna be doing the same thing. NFTs, emojis, and it's gonna be theme based as well. Some of you will get to have custom emojis, like personalized custom emojis and personalized custom NFTs. So yep, we're bringing NFTs back.
And people will be able to, content creators, or anybody will be able to create their own channels and create their own groups, which makes it way more easier and accessible to your fan base, to your your supporters. So there's plenty of opportunities on Bragtime. It's very easy to promote your own stuff. And you'll be able to have like your own world, your own little world in your own group. You know what I'm saying? You can do a whole bunch of stuff with your group, play games, 3D animations, all that.
So eventually we want to actually, in the servers that users get, that they could create their own. Eventually we want to have it where we actually have a set of games. So right now users can play games in the chat. So we do have games, and we have chat challenges for you guys. But what we want to do is on the server side, giving you your own access to your own server, your own world, and within that we'll have different games that you guys can we're gonna make it super fun, super 3D. You don't need any glasses, anything like that. We're gonna be kind of bringing you VR without you having to get any expensive equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we want to have that too, Bragtime goggles or whatever, Bragtime glasses.
Mm-hmm.
You like switch from like X-ray vision to like
Yeah, that's some Bragtime phones.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see So those of you who know, tell us, for a full-scale app, what would you use, RESTful APIs or GraphQL, and why? The advantages of using one over the other. So the Discord server, what's going on with that?
I just need some different permissions to set up a bot.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You want me to log in now?
yeah, you can whenever you have time.
I don't know if you guys recognize how slow Discord is. Oh, by the way, we're not about shit talking, but the current platforms as as a dev, yeah, we shit talk all the time because these companies are billion-dollar companies, and you know they really can't get it right. And part of that is because that software development is a very difficult job, and typically, so like what we're doing would take thousands of developers literally. You know, it's just yeah, we're kind of like superheroes like that. So, superheroes, we can't remember their passwords. I hate the ones that you can't even see because
Superheroes, they gotta fill out like 15 captures a day, 20 captures.
sure. Okay, verify. And this is the easy part of my day. If you think that you should be discriminated against because of your IP address, like people are today, put one in the chat. Put a 2 if you're down to reality.
No more IP races.
Right. No more IP racism. We should start a group for something. It's crazy. If people travel. You know what I'm saying? Alright, you want to go for it, or you want to explain to me?
Yeah. So if you wanna go to server settings, Bragtime, thing at the top. And then go down to roles.
Not rules, right?
Roles, yeah. In the server settings.
You want me to add a role for you?
Yeah, if you can create a role. Actually, no, I can create it. I create it.
You created?
Yeah. Okay, so you see the dot roll?
Yeah.
If you could just move that above CEO.
Above CEO?
Yeah. And then make that happen. And I'm gonna take away. Yeah, and then make that one happen. No, make it admin.
Yeah.
You gotta go to permissions tab and then scroll all the way. That's the last permission.
Why are we putting it above our roles?
Because I can't edit any of the other roles. The CEO and CCO roles are just display roles.
Okay, got it.
You already have full, like all the permissions if you own the server, so you don't even need any rules. So that, like, the CEO is just display.
Okay. So just administrator or manage events, all of that other stuff?
You can leave all that if the bottom, the
Just
bottom row administrator is on.
Okay, so it overrides all other roles.
Yeah. And if you could just name it like dot or something.
Because I had named it
Yeah.
admin.
Yeah.
Just,
Make admin a display role too.
oh, I see.
Yeah, and then can you give me the dot row?
How do I do that?
You got it.
Manage members?
Yeah, you could do it like
War, right?
that. No, you should, no, do the,
The app?
yeah, that's it.
I wasn't sure what that was. I was like, who's this? Someone joined. I don't want to give the role to someone else. Or if I could get a notification, like, sweet. Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got admin. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Right, change the server.
Right.
Nah, yeah, yeah, both of them.
Okay. We good?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll be on my grandpa, other times I'll be on my George Jetson. Hey, like, George Jetson? Flintstone motherfucker? Gotta really learn from that shit, like not to make things complicated. I get it though. It's needed to have all of those options.
Gen 2
Mm-hmm.
with the WACC.
Yeah.
I figured out what A stands for now.
What?
Account.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
That's a good acronym. I don't know if I can figure that out.
Yeah, I'll be doing that sometimes. Just make stuff acronyms.
You get the encrypted award and shit.
Nobody's figuring it out.
Yeah, so I told you I'm just dropping like that first line to him now because I think it's useful to put the whole thing at first,
Mm.
a little bit at a time. It needs to go when you're dealing with the impaired, the mentally impaired. That's gonna be like the name for chicks, like. Am I? Oh yeah, okay. What's going on with that am I? No one will figure that shit out either. Like, what the fuck? What's the MI? Forever. And we just be like, hey, get that MI in here. What? The fuck?
It's a joke the whole time.
That's a joke. I don't want to figure out.
You're gonna have like theories and stuff on Reddit.
Yeah, so what do you think the MI did it Mission Impossible? No. show him like big head security guard and shit. Look out the window, he'd be right there, shit waving.
He looks up here, we duck.
Come up here. Hey, you need anything?
He just sees the big stick, the what you call it? The stand,
right.
just sticking out. No cameras. No, not allowed.
No, I was thinking you was gonna say rifle, like he thinks it's a rifle. And my mind automatically went like that would be a cool prank and shit, but crazy trouble.
Yeah.
You like have like a toy rifle that looks real and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just point it at him. Just like really be serious up there. Like,
It looks like sniper elite.
yeah.
You know,
Go out there, lay down on the balcony, put the all in front of him and shit, so he can see. Like, walk out there, wave to him, and then put the shit on. He duck down. It's like, oh, what the fuck?
Put a laser on the what you call it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Gotta have the laser, bro. No, he would be like, he been seeing the laser for like 2 days before that happened. Like, we had the laser on him and shit, just pointing. Like, what the fuck is this coming from?
Then you about to get sniped.
Yeah. Big heads, planet of the apes. Get in there, y'all. Become the king and queen before it's too late.
It's all gonna happen real quick too, so I better be careful.
No.
Don't wanna miss out. been streaming for about an hour.
Okay. I'm gonna go for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get working, I'm gonna tweak the design a little bit. Still a little bit. Now I'm talking about the request. It's gonna be sweet, like the challenge request. So the user flow is the user. So any user. Alright, so you gotta be on level 3 in order to challenge regular users. On level 1 and 2, of course, level 1 you can't create challenges. Level 2, you can only challenge friends. So level 3, you can challenge all users, except for the users that have that settings not to be challenged. So that's a whole nother subsystem that we need to create to make sure that the users have the ability to prevent being challenged or whatever. But yeah, so once they do that, then a pop-up comes up. So you're actually not just sending them a request, we're sending them a request with the category and the description on it. I just can't figure out if we should allow them to upload a video right now too. Cause I I was thinking before, so the way I have it now is on the regular video challenges, users can, create their own challenge. But then when they request, when a participant or challenger wants to request to join a challenge, they don't upload their videos during that time, and that's going to save us, storage space, because there's no guarantee that the challenge owner is going to accept their challenge. But if they do, then they'll get a chance to upload the video. So that's the question: is should we just do that, and that could even be the same model, the same model. So when that pops up, the category is already chosen, the title's already chosen, but they could add a description to their challenge. Yeah. Actually, they shouldn't be able to add a description, right?
To their challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
No, I'm saying this is for the challenger. For the challengers, should they be allowed to upload a description? Because we have the original challenge, right? It's gonna have the title. Now, if we're showing all of them, that's another thing I think we was talking about before, is whether we're gonna show all of the challenges or just the original challenge owner. And if people wanna see the other ones, they could just go to that, right? It's just one title. It's also we're gonna have a URL that people could share it, so they could go right to the challenge, and they could see the participants, or if they're a participant, then people could see their version or their challenge video. Versus having either the same title or a different title, and displaying all of them. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that in terms of like user experience?
Yeah, I think that's good. Once we get a lot of users, it's gonna be like people are gonna like be trying to find challenges. So
right, it's easier to find it off of a single title, or
yeah, and then if like it has videos under that same title, maybe there's like a certain page for it or something. Like you can go to that challenge page and it shows like the other challenge videos under it or something.
Yeah. But I'm thinking now, like, okay, so on the cards, right, like on the home page and on the challenge page, there's the user, the challenge owner's picture, on top of like the thumbnail, and then there's the title and a little bit of the description. What we could do is, if there's participants, we show the users' pictures, right? Some, like, all the apps do this. If there's like, say, collaborators or whatever, if you see a Instagram reel and it's collaborators, you'll see like kind of pictures stacked on top of each other. So we, instead of doing that, we could show the pictures, move it over more, and show their individual titles. And we could put that in the search as well. So what happens when a challenge is created is we have a video challenge table, and we have a participants table. Right? There's other tables included, subtables that's needed, but those are the two main tables. And when the challenge owner creates it, they're also one participant, so they go down in the participants. So what we could do is we could just render the search based on the participants. So if someone searches up a participant's challenge, it'll come up, but the original will come up. So they'll see the original. the original, and then theirs will be that name, that title will be highlighted on the card or on the search card or whatever, right? So then, if they click on that title, it'll go to that page, or they could go to the original challenge page, and they'll see all three of them.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But no one could challenge that user because they're a participant already in another challenge. So
yeah, that makes sense. But you'll be able to like search up keywords, right?
You said keywords?
So say like you can just search up like the keyword of a challenge. Like say there's basketball challenges.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like the tags? Yeah, we could add that feature. Yeah. I mean, we already have it where you could search by the category. And you could search by the title. But yeah, we could do keywords. But see, it's not that easy. It's relatively easy to do like a full search of like all of the data within the object. But specifically what we want is like tags. Because if you do that, right, almost all of the challenges will come up. If when you press A, like all of them is gonna have like A someplace in their title or description or tags, you know what I'm saying? But what we want is a search specifically for the tags, and then just like what we got for categories.
Yeah.
So how many roles are we on? How many hats are we wearing at the same time? So usually in software development, it takes, of course it takes typically front-end developers to work on the integration from the back end and basically putting all the logics, the client-side logics, and all of the, whether it's HTML or JSX, whatever form that's going to be displayed on screen. Then you have the back-end developers that mainly concentrate on creating the APIs. So basically the data objects that's going to be fetched into, that's going to be brought into the application itself, right? So they set up those endpoints, and then the front-end developers are the ones that take those endpoints and they integrate it into, they set up what's called CRUD operations, and that's pretty much the bread and butter of developers. That's create, read, update, and delete. So that's the basic functionality of dynamic data, meaning real-time data that other people input, and you want to be able to do those 4 things, 4 or 5 things. I can't spell right now, but yeah. So you have the front-end developers, and it would typically be a lot of developers, right? Because everyone is working on a piece, their own feature, and it's this very slow and tedious process of getting approved and like passing the test, because everything has to have tests, and it has to pass at like 85%, and then there's like this whole system in place of how it has to go through all of these measures, these security measures, accountability, usability, vulnerability testing, all of that has to be done. So you have those 2, and then you have DevOps. DevOps is responsible for the middle So once you upload it to whatever repository, and by the way, like repository, you guys are gonna learn today. So a repository, or what we call repo for short, is where we hold the code. It's like kind of a database where we commit our code to, and it has different versions. So if anything goes wrong, you could always go back to a different version. It also allows you to keep track and see, all of the developers that have committed and what time they committed, and it usually has a description. What did they work on, or whatever? What did they do? So you have a repository, and within that repository, now that repository needs to be connected to whatever hosting server that's going to be displaying to the web, or if it's mobile, then whatever application is going to be displayed to the So for instance, on mobile development, it would either go to something like Expo, which does both iOS and Android, or would go directly to the Android and Apple Store, which is hosting. You ship the code out to them. Of course, it's not that simple, but it's packaged, and they go through their own series of tests, and then they display it. So you have that, and then you have every day developers have these meetings, these stand-ups, where we talk about what was done the day before, what we plan on doing today, and if there's any dependencies, like any what's called roadblocks, if there's anything preventing that developer from doing their job that day, or if they estimate that it's going to take a longer time, because each task is called like user stories. It's based on user stories. So like, for instance, this would be, the user story would be, so I'm working on the challenge piece right now. It would be the user would click on any functionality that displays the pictures, but maybe they would give an example, and when they click on a picture or hover for 2 seconds and the profile card comes up, then they have to, then the user, if the user clicks on challenge, it should go through that system. Basically, send a request to the user. Well, first, before they do that, choose the category, description, all of that, and send a request. Then the user gets notified about it, and they decide whether to accept or not. That could be all one user story, or that could be broken down into several user stories. And based on that, there's a point system of how long it's estimated to take. And these are metrics that major companies keep up with to kind of gauge how things is going, like who's rising above the rest in terms of developers and skill, but also like the expectation of how long it's going to take to develop these different features. So those stand-ups are led typically, and this is agile development. It's a well-known development structure. Not only developers and engineers do this, but most companies today follow these guidelines to some degree. Major corporations, where it's, they have this either waterfall or agile or Scrum-based development. And so this is Scrum, and then it goes into 2-week sprints. So every 2 weeks there's a release, right? So the focus is, as a team, everyone does their part, and then in 2 weeks, we're estimated to have finished a certain amount of stuff, and then we ship that out to, it goes to another stage in server, and then it goes to production. But so the person that leads those stand-ups are called a Scrum Master, And then, of course, we have testers, the QA, quality assurance, and those are the ones who test. So Noah's has been doing the testing, most of the testing. So he's wearing a hat of QA, quality assurance. I'm doing both full stack, so front end, back end, also the data. I forgot that one. The data by itself, creating the data tables, the relation between the different tables. That's also a job. So I'm wearing that hat. I'm also wearing the hat of solution architect, getting the technologies, the different technologies to work together, and even architect, if you want to say too, of designing the entire system from top end to bottom of how the flow is going to go, what services we're using, and all of that. So it's a lot of hats, a lot of things. But this is, again, and we're doing this for the world to witness. This is an ongoing project. We're pretty much complete. Again, we have traction, we have users. We're just building out more features, perfecting it. And but this is like the unicorn that people talk about, because you're not supposed to be able to do this like single-handedly like this. This is, it may not seem to people who don't know really very difficult or whatever, or they don't understand like the mechanics, but every little thing, it's like, it's a hassle to change or build, because today everything is broken down into little components, and everything has dependencies and more dependencies and nested dependencies, and
it takes brain power, consistency, and a lot of focus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it can be very draining too. You know what I'm saying, on the mind.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, bro. You gotta have a very strong mind to develop, because you're taking L's all fucking day. All day you taking L's. If you get a couple wins, you feel good about yourself, because if you see typical developers, like, they live like shit, bro. They get paid good money, but they live like shit, like eating ramen noodles, because that's all the time that they have. This shit is just so, like, time consuming and like you said, mentally draining. And they live like shit because, so is it worth, then you have something called burnout. That's a very real thing that a lot of developers, engineers go through. To be honest, I think Elon Musk is going through one right now. Like, the way he's acted is like burnout and shit. So it's a very real thing. If any of you guys decide to go into this trade, watch your health, because I actually I got over it now, but I had from I had a herniated disc, and it didn't have to be that bad, but it lasted for a long time. It lasted for over a year, because I refused to take any time out to do physical therapy, to go to a chiropractor. And I was actually making things worse by leaning forward, sitting for long hours. So in this, you typically, like, you'll blink and 8 hours will go by. That's nothing. Like, if you see a developer that only works 8 hours, they're not a real developer. Like, this shit takes 12, 14, 20 hours kind of thing. And so sitting for any long periods of time is bad for you. You know, you compress your spine, and then if worse, if you're like leaning, like how I do a lot of times, that's extremely bad for the skeleton. It causes high blood pressure and increases your blood pressure. And by the way, you guys should take heed to this, because even looking at your phone for too long causes health issues, and it will cause issues later on in life with your posture. So make sure to take time out. You know, keep your chin up. Lowers your blood pressure. Try to keep your spine as straight as possible, right? So you won't go through that. So I went through that. It was like mainly my fault, the initial injury, because, you know, I would ride my motorcycle every day to the gym and try to outdo everyone in the gym just because. And I was like deadlifting like 400 pounds, and I ended up like pulling my shit out, and I heard it too, like. And someone else heard it. It was like working out next to me, and they like looked over, and I just like played it off, like, yeah, I meant for that shit to happen. Like, pulled it up and just started doing chest presses and shit, like fuck out of here. I'm the strongest in this bitch, and then like threw it back on the fucking rack. But yeah, I suffered the consequences. Couldn't walk. It got real fucking bad. I had to like basically live off Excedrin for a whole year because I refused to get any medical treatment. I was too scared to take any big drugs that might get me addicted. You know, what they typically give you for those kind of pains. And let me tell you, nerve pain is the fucking worst. It is the worst. Sometime I'll tell you guys about, you know, cluster headaches, but that's another thing too that came about from staying up for days at a time. And when I first started working on this, bro, I did not fucking sleep. It was on some other shit, bro. So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get this complete in like 2 weeks, you know, a month at most. It's like, yeah, fucking right. And there's many different lessons to be learned from that. One of the lessons is, like, if you're working on something, push your product out, man. I you know, I've been trying to like perfect shit, and now it's like, it's a fucking golden masterpiece now. But, you know, it could have been out much sooner. Yeah, much sooner, so. That's Unc's take. Keeping you guys informed.
Giving y'all the real, this is live.
This is live.
You know what I'm saying? And no script.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really, you know what I'm saying? We've been working on this for days. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? This is day 1027.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
So now you gotta just do something about it. So make sure you guys create a profile.
Yeah.
And
test it out. Let us know what you think, like feedbacks or whatever. Like, I didn't see him code one time. Yeah, I was fucking coding while I was speaking. And not only that, but coding is very different than what you think it is today. No, he's black. I can't believe that.
no, he's not a coder. Look at him.
Look at him. That's why I put the glasses on, like.
Make you look a bit smarter. Oh, maybe he has glasses.
Someone told me that'd be intimidating people. I'm like, how the fuck so?
Glasses?
Yeah, like looking too intelligent. Like black man looking too intelligent. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
We can't win.
I've heard somebody say that before too.
Really?
Yeah. I seen somebody comment on one of the videos that we did recently
What did I say?
about the song I put in the beginning.
Oh, what did I say?
They said, "Oh, what is the song called?"
Oh yeah. I think I
You
think I
saw that?
that.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Somebody said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try to keep using the song,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is dope.
especially if it brings in comments.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, say less. I could get in the studio real quick. Drop a couple hit pieces. Bro.
We need to get in the studio.
It will definitely be better than Ye's last album and Lil Wayne's last album, Carter 6. Like, definitely better than that.
I don't know why they keep doing music, man. Just give it up at this point. You know what I'm saying? Just retire.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's trying to preserve his legacy because he sold the rights to all his music.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. When was it? Was it 2020 or something? He sold it for $100 million. The whole catalog. Bro, do you know how many songs Lil Wayne had? That is a fucking discount like I've never seen, bro. That is a fucking discount.
Yeah.
Like, what? Your whole catalog for $100 million? You know how much he goes through a year? Like, bro, we don't have that lifestyle, and $100 million is not really like nothing special, bro. You go through that in a few years, easy. To keep up with your the props, appearances, like this motherfucker's still gonna be on front stage at every game. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna be this and that. Taking private jets, all of that shit. We're talking about literally millions a year, you know, that you just blown. Not to mention all the thoughts that he probably has around that's with him for money that it's just costing. All that to like spend most of your time getting high.
Yeah, man, they had their run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to tell them to like get on Bragtime or something now. Start making some challenges.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Do something else.
Oh yeah. I'll be challenging everyone. Fucking Kendrick Lamar, Drake. You ain't the best rapper. Meet me on Bragtime. It's a challenge. And then just announce it to the world and shit. Put it on every social media. So they gotta show up or just forfeit the championship.
Yeah. You know the big ballers are actually gonna do that. 100%.
Yeah. Hosting boxing matches, all of that. Boxing match events, celebrity boxing matches. Is it running low on battery?
Yeah, this one is.
Yeah, guys, to pardon us for yesterday. The electricity cut for some reason. I guess there was a surge. Killed the light, so we just decided to end the stream there rather than trying to stream on our phones. But we got it right back up. So.
Yeah, man. Doing some like construction or something.
So we're doing this so you guys could participate. So participate. Let us know what you think. what your experiences is, what your experiences are. Put a one in the chat if you just say a whole bunch of shit and just be like, put a one in the chat. Then you can't tell which one is which. Like, put a one in the chat and da-da-da. Put a one in the chat and da-da-da.
Put a one in the chat if you do this. Put a one in the chat if you also do this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, what we do is an emoji. See, these platforms don't know how to do it right. What we do is we have an emoji, and you have to purchase the emoji in order to vote. So when the content creators and they get the money, right? We may get 15, 20% or something, but they keep the money. And so instead of saying put a one in the chat or put a two in the chat, they'll be put this emoji in the chat if you think blah blah blah, and put this emoji in the chat if you think. And by the way, it costs $1, $2 or whatever for the emoji.
So these are custom emojis?
Yeah, custom emojis, but it doesn't necessarily have to be custom emojis. I think that if we'll do the level thing, and if they're on a high enough level, it could be custom. But other than that, it's just a set of emojis, particular emojis that, custom in the sense that it's not the regular emojis.
Yeah.
It's a different set that the users have to purchase, $1, $2. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't want to do a super chat or something like that.
Yeah.
Just put instead of doing the 1, the 2, if you're really serious, if you're really a fan, go ahead and spend that $2. And every time I mention, I go up and go ahead and spend that $3.
I mean, that's how much a boost is on Nitro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What, $2, $3?
Yeah, a boost is $2 each.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Just show that low support.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, we could definitely have that. That's an excellent idea. And the more boost that you have, the better shit that you have, and the more features. Your level will get you certain features anyway.
Yeah.
But if you want the whole shebang, you want AI to create a world for you and to assist you in creating the world. Because the vision is the people go to your server as a third person looking at their avatar, and then walking through the door, right? And just imagine either outside or indoors, it's 3D form, so it looks like it's really outside or inside. I forgot the type of art. I'm not talking about realistic. I'm talking about almost like a cartoon or whatever.
Yeah.
The same as the avatars. And you could go to different doors. You could explore whatever based on what the creator puts in there. And certain doors are locked, because this is private rooms or whatever. But then you could go in, say you have access to a door or something. You walk in, you could see everyone else's avatar, maybe sitting down or standing up or whatever. And then you go into, or you have so there's 2 modes. There's one where you could just look at it from that perspective and just see whoever's talking or whatever, animate their avatars are talking. And then the other mode is you could go into real mode, and then you'll see say the host, for instance, if the host is doing a private group meeting or whatever, then you could see the host and they'll talk. But if not, then you have the option to see their avatar talk or whatever. And we didn't mention, like, one of the best parts is that we're gonna have the avatars fight each other. So that was the reason I was really explaining about Mafia Wars before, because if you didn't have a lot of users, then your character was weak. And people would actually fight your character. There was a whole different section that you could go and you could battle other people. Just choose other people and battle them. And so you could come back, if you had a weak character, you come back and your shit is like laid out. You know what I'm saying? Your character is like on zero. And it's like, hold on a second, I just refilled all of that, like boosted my shit. Why am I... Yeah, so you didn't have enough people, and now your character is what you call it. So, long story short, I became so good at the game that I was one of the top players. Even though I wasn't like purchasing anything, you had those options too. But I was one of the top people, and they used to interview me on like what my strategies were to get that high, right? And then one day, Facebook changed their rules and their limitation of like 5,000 friends, and they deleted my account. Instead of just like reducing the friends to some stupid shit, or just saying like, look, here's our new policy. I guess they didn't have pop-ups or some shit back in the day. Just to say like, hey, here's our new policy. Go ahead and delete like everything under 5,000 of your friends. We'll let you delete it. And maybe here's a section where you could choose who to delete or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Or we'll delete it for you, optional or whatever. And to be honest, the sophistication today should be like they display your friends, your actual contacts, and say, okay, that's in a separate section. Do you want to delete them or not? And, have everyone else on your friends list. Mm-hmm. But they ended up deleting my fucking profile, and then I recreated it after like a week of just being fucking pissed at them. Recreated it, and I had to start from zero. And I went like one day into the shit, and I'm like, fuck this, bro. Like, this shit is so slow to get back to my level. I am not about to do this shit again. And I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck? I'm used to... It was just like a little time in my life that I did that for like, a few months or whatever. 6-7 months. But I'm used to like living life, doing adventurous shit, and I'm like, from that perspective, like, what the fuck is this? You're not earning anything. This is not applied to the real world. It's just kind of like bullshit. So what we want to do is you're actually gonna be earning real money, for your things that you do on the app. So your content, your posts, the more likes you get, and particularly and especially challenges. So anyone now could get online, they could, and we already have this in place. There's people winning money every day. So you get online, you create a challenge, and 2 participants have to join. Once they join, the challenge starts. People vote. There's voting packages. The challenger and the challenge owner cannot vote for themselves, so it's not gambling, but it's everyone else could vote. And then there's 25 free likes. So if you want to just do it for free and like it, 25 of those equals 1 vote. So that'll be the equivalent of 1 vote and paid out as 1 vote. And so the objective here is to, first of all, change the game where content creators and anyone from across the world could just, make some money just by jumping online. And the second thing is to popularize a blockchain token and to kind of be the pioneers in a new age where things are moving to anyway, where things are moving to more stream based, things are moving to more engagement, and this is what we're concentrating on, not algorithms that's you're not going to get support from your audience or from your subscribers or followers, which we call supporters. So we're changing the game completely. There's no more followers, now it's supporters and who you're supporting, right? So based on how many supporters you have, how many likes, the challenges, the groups, events, you'll all get a chance to earn money from everything. And of course the different levels allows people to brag about their different profiles and avatars. Again, we have the avatars in place already, but we're going to allow people to be able to change up. We need artists, good artists, but we want to allow people to be able to change the accessory of these avatars, and then eventually be able to fight other avatars. So if I'm on a high level, right, I have to be on a high level in order to do that. Other than that, there's going to be a set portion of animations that your avatar does based on what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So it'll have like 4 or 5 different gestures or emotions based on what you're doing. And in the chat, it could interact with the other person's avatar. But particularly if you're on a high enough level and you see other people's avatar, you just like, if you want, mm-hmm. Give them the business and and we'll design it kind of like Mortal Kombat, like finish him, and then you just like do some, put some shit in and really. So imagine you just logging in and someone is beating the hell out of your profile, and they like kept beating up your profile and shit. Mm-hmm. So we have to have like like a grace period or some shit. A cool down. Yeah, cool down. Yeah, cool down. Or they can't just like go ham like that.
Yeah, just keep smacking you.
Yeah.
Every time you log in.
Right. And then like leave the marks and shit. So avatar.
You got bandages and whatnot.
Yeah. Like, they talking about violence. You see, I told you black people always talking about violence.
Take them down.
First the thumbs down on my head, then the fucking people keep beating up my avatar. I'm out of here. Fuck this. It's not for the weak, people. It's not for the weak. It's for the high competitors. I refuse to upgrade my mouse, so I got this mouse that like think it's smart. Like timing out, going to sleep and shit.
It's short on here.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Mm-hmm. This is based on video VO3?
No, it's the video gen one.
Okay. to say one thing. I think that we should change up a little bit because it keeps on clipping the same so either we need to do thumbnails or
Yeah, I can change the thumbnail.
okay. Yeah, because it keeps clipping the same thing with that.
Imagine your pool party belly flop winning you thousands on Bragtime. Imagine a place just for you.
A place to brag. A place to challenge.
Excellent. Okay. So we're waiting till later to post, yeah?
Yeah. Change some of the thumbnails.
You want me to come up with it or you got it?
The thumbnail?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Noah doesn't like my artwork, y'all. He's like, Unc is cool and all, but art, oh my god. Some things. It seems like it's working, but still having some issues here. And so it's creating the request, but it's not forwarding it to the user. Let's see if this MI could help me out. But really don't like that. It'd be causing memory leaks and shit like that. I just gotta go back and fucking manually do it. Changing shit that I ain't asked. See, it added a whole bunch of enums that it's not like, what the fuck is it doing? Already had fucking enums. Instead of using that. Absolutely right. I apologize. It's like all day.
Just straight up messing up.
Yeah. It was just about to break the fucking system. Like straight up. Like, hold on a second. Let me catch this shit. It's changing up variable names, some kind of shit. Where we at?
I'm sorry?
Where we at?
2 hours.
It's 2 hours already?
Yeah.
Over 2 hours?
Yes, one.
1 minute. Do you want to close out?
Yeah, it's been 2 hours and a minute.
All right, guys. We're gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching, being a part of it. We're still gonna be working, so we'll show you the results like we did on the other one tomorrow. Please go and support us at Patreon/Bragtime or Patreon/C/Bragtime. Our YouTube channel is Bragtime. Our Instagram handle is It's Bragtime. Our TikTok is
It's Bragtime as well.
Is Bragtime as well. On X, we're Bragtime. Also support the Bro Hustle. Go to the Bro Academy, register to see what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of courses and books.
All the links are in our About Me.
Exactly.
So go ahead and go check those out.
Yep. And our Patreon has different levels. So again, we're offering custom-made animated badges, custom-made animated avatars and emojis, depending on your level of subscription. So go ahead and support us. We're bootstrapping it all, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Y'all guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and peace.